I wanted to, while you were settling in, there's a Taurus moon.
It's a Taurus moon.
Okay. All right. First of all, the hat. Yes, please.
Hmm.
Yeah. Love.
Said something else here, and I was like, no, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna fix that right up.
Yep. Tidied it up.
Hmm.
I love it.
Hmm.
It's an election day where you are.
It is. And it's a special election because someone stepped down. And it's made national news. Made national news because we live in a very, very red state.
Yeah.
And in particular, the county where I live, Davidson County, which is pretty blue, was subdivided
Oh,
into three. Yeah, they
yeah.
redistricted it, and they subdivided it where one part of the county went to an extremely red part. And another part of the county went to an extremely red part, and another part of the county went to an extremely red part. So the place in which it's District 7, the this particular district
Yep.
is historically red. I think it was a 20 plus for Trump. Oh, why did I even say that name?
I don't know.
For boom. That's
Cheeto,
right.
Cheeto in chief.
That's right. And so Afton Bain, who
Afton
is,
Bane.
I
Uh-huh.
believe she's like 32, 34, 32. She's done, she went to school at University of Texas, studied social work, and she has been involved in activism, community organizing, and all things social justice for quite some time in Nashville. And she is badass. So she's a state congressperson.
Yep.
And now she is running for, yeah, you see. Yeah. It'll be a big deal. So what's a really huge deal already? I mean, I am putting all the things, if you can, I don't know that
Yeah,
you
let's
can
let's let's take a look at your situation here. Yes,
situation.
tell me about this altar. Yes. Good God, woman, I love it.
I do too.
Damn, that's
This is
sexy.
Taurus moon business.
Yeah, that is some Taurus moon business.
So what I felt like doing was honoring the elements
Yes.
and in the personality of Lilith. So I have the elements like fire, all the ones, and then these little lino cuts of Lilith, and I have elements here that represent the different elements, the red and the wasp, and got a little snake in there, and so basically I feel like I think I've shared this before that I feel like Lilith gets such a bad rap, but I believe that she is like the patron saint of the othered and the sacred feminine. And so I don't know what's going to happen. What I do know is Afton has done exceedingly well in an
Love to hear it.
extremely difficult area.
Love to hear it.
Uh-huh. And so Lilith fire, Lilith air, Lilith water, Lilith earth. I'm just calling upon all of the sacred
Mhm.
feminine, the ones who've been, you're too much, you're not enough, you're too sensual, shut up, don't use your voice, get back in the back.
Lilith is like the slut shaming
Oh,
place.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Slut shaming it, yeah, and the different elements. It's I was just reading about it today and I posted something with this hat on. And I said, I won't forsake my passion. I won't forsake my visibility because fire, Lilith, I am not too much. I will not be silenced. And that's that.
Love it. And even if Afton makes uh, a bump in the numbers without
Mhm.
winning, it's a
Mhm.
win,
Oh,
right?
it's huge.
Okay.
It's a really big deal. It's such a big deal that Mike Johnson was here yesterday.
That's it when looking up this live results at PBS, trying to go to some place neutral and not filled with, the first search at DuckDuckGo said, why did he come to Tennessee? And
I
I'm
can
like,
tell you why.
Tell me
He
why.
came to Tennessee in a freaking million billionaire, I don't know about billionaire, but mansion while Afton was talking to people in front of the public library.
I like that.
And he
That's
put
good.
Trump on speakerphone saying, please get out. So I don't know what's going to happen, but what I can tell you is I would be very surprised if it was a plus 20 difference. Last I saw,
Wow.
at least for early voting and polling, it
Yeah.
was a 2 point spread.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. Dude, what a time to be alive.
What a time.
Hey, so do you
Yeah.
watch South Park?
I do. I used to be like an avid watcher. I haven't watched it much lately.
So I haven't been watching it, but I have been watching the Pod Save America guys who are the Obama speech writers who started their own podcast after the Obama years.
Hmm.
And they, in their podcast, they have been doing a review of each episode of South Park this season. And they, share enough in public domain and to be able to get by with fair use. And what happens is one of the podcasters has seen the episode and the other two have not. And they basically explain the episode and react to it. It is one of my favorite things to watch. And from it, I have learned that everybody in Cheeto and Chief's cabinet is getting just dragged and roasted and sent up on because parody,
Played.
parody, they can do whatever. It's all fair game.
Hmm.
And the big funny story to me is the Chief Cheeto character has a micro penis and he has impregnated Satan with a butt baby.
I think I heard something about that. I did. I
And
heard about it.
yeah, so when you mentioned Mike Johnson, I was like, oh, I have to find out how they do him because they this last episode that was the Thanksgiving special was all the drunk dude Hegseth.
Oh my
um
God.
and it was all, and man, it was like, hang on, I need more content. Everything was for social whatever. And so that Mike Johnson appearing there, I'm like,
Mhm.
God, you got to get that coverage. I mean, what the hell with all the, let me make sure that this is a moment so we can get some coverage so we can, this is not what anybody imagined in this experiment of
No.
these United States and free and fair elections.
We thought we were above it.
Dude,
The Constitution, which
the
I'm
world.
not joking. I mean, there's some great things about the Constitution, but the thing is, it's only as good as people, being willing to follow the rules and adhere to.
Interpretation,
Mm.
which is what gets hinky about the Bible.
That
Not that
is.
I want, not that I want to go into a religious conversation, but it's like nobody agrees on interpretation. And
Right.
so it's like, how can you have a thing and completely disagree about what it says? And I'm like, they could do it about the Constitution, they can do it about the Bible, they
Sure.
can do it about the
Do about anything.
anything, anything. Point of view,
Anything.
point of view. Um, so yes, tell me.
Oh, I'm just breathing, breathing through it,
Right.
breathing through it, just like breathing through it.
Right. Amen. Um, I want to talk about your numerology.
Oh, okay.
Can we do that?
Sure.
Okay. Because you said numerology is not a place you've got a lot of know-how
I don't know much about it. I mean, I know ish
ish.
from you, but not really
Okay.
much.
So one of the things that we talked about in the live stream I just did, which is why I was focusing on you in the comments, you said 2017, no bueno. And 2017 was a 1 year collectively, not for you personally, but collectively.
Hmm.
And 2026 is a 1 year collectively. And if you're like, how do you get there? You just add down all the digits of 2026 or 2017, or before that, 2008, and before that, 1999. And you get these.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we do it. 1990 before that, and then 81. Blah, blah, blah. So every 9 years, we start a new cycle. And in the 9 year, we kill off whatever we don't want coming with us into the new 9 year cycle. And so a lot of what's been hard about 2025 collectively is we are dredging up everything that was started in 2017. And I'll flash back to 2017, and we were in Me Too, Black Lives Matter,
Mm-hmm.
45's first presidency.
Oh.
Right. Right.
In that massive, massive eclipse
Mm-hmm.
in August.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I mean, they're all the same size, but I mean, it was just a very substantial.
it felt big.
Yeah.
It felt big. 2017 was the start of a 9 year cycle collectively. Mm-hmm. And if we think about how in 2025 we're dredging everything, pulling secrets out of the closet, like just we're irrigating wounds, we're taking everything from this package of 9 years that we don't want to come with us into the next 9 year cycle that starts collectively with 2026 and goes to 2035.
Mm-hmm.
26 to 5.
Yeah.
No.
No, yeah.
No. From 26 to 34. 34 will be the 9 year. Because then 35 will be a 1 year.
Oh boy.
Okay. I know, math. But trust me. So this taking everything out that we don't want to come with us. If we can look at the work we've done collectively in 2025 as getting really clear on what we don't want to be a part of the new 9 year cycle story that we start in 2026, does it make it feel a little more like, yep, that's the work. Yep, that's what we're doing. That's like even this special election, we're like, what do we not want? What do we want?
Right.
You know?
It does. And when you were talking about that, I did note that like, I mean, really, 2017 was just terrible. And also, I'm in such a different place now.
That's right. That's right.
And you know what I was thinking is 2016 is when that butthole was elected.
That's right. And
that's a 9 year. So I'm like, oh,
that was the end of a 9 year. Right.
That was the end of democracy. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's right. We said we're done with this daddy president family that we can look up to and aspire to and say, look at us. Yes. But one of the things one of the things I remember when that election happened, and I felt blindsided by it, like a lot. I mean, here I am in my blue bubble of Los Angeles, and everybody's like standing in line to vote, and we're like, we're gonna have the first female president. You know, just, and I'm just like, oh, the energy. And then I also felt this, just like, I don't know, something's weird. And then came home and started watching, and just we all know where we were when it was called, and we were like, oh fuck. I remember like the next day or so tweeting, I like my racism out where I can see it. I like my xenophobia out where I can see it. I like my fascism, misogyny. I like all of that fascism out where I can see it, all the bigotry, because this low key people in my neighborhood were voting some kind of way that I had no idea. I don't like that. I don't like those secrets. Mm-hmm. I would rather you wear your idiocracy out in public, own it, because then at least I know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when I get to the point where my house is shit or I have to go through my closet and it feels overwhelming. And if I just like don't look, But then I drag everything out and it feels so awful.
It's
But then I
awful.
can sort through what I want, what I don't want.
That's right.
Um, well, we got what we asked for. When
Right.
I say we, not we, but we got what we asked for, which is, we want to be able to say what we want to say, and we're just not there yet. And we
Yeah.
want permission to be awful. And so that's what we got. And all I can figure is that first off, it's not those players, those characters are about to get booted off the chessboard,
That's right.
like age-wise.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
And
And in a lot of this, when we look at the generations, the economic generations in the United States, we have the boomers and the Gen Xers and the millennials and so on. There's this dying off of the boomers. Sorry about it. I do know I have technical
sure.
boomers in my life and I love them very much. And I also know that even if they are on the younger side of things, they are still a part of a generation
Yeah.
that they know. They're like, I don't know how to,
Right.
you know, there is a and it's bipartisan. There is a generational shift that needs to happen for there to be change, for there to be
Mhm.
just an opportunity for this to go some other kind of way.
You're right, both parties.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Chuck Schumer doesn't represent me.
Just come
The
on.
This Week in White Supremacy folks call him Cuck Schumer, and it makes me
Oh
laugh.
no, God.
It makes me laugh so hard.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. But they also made a really good point when they call them the hateful eight voted to end the government shutdown, but with no concessions for anything.
Yeah.
Um, they laid it out and said, this is the government working exactly the way most of the people in it want it to work.
Mhm.
And that's the part that we gotta stop going, it's this party that's a problem, and go, there's a whole like culture of greed and duplicity,
The
complicity.
systems of power
Yeah.
are the problem.
Yeah. Was it Josh Johnson, comedian, said the only ethical billionaire is the ex-wife of a billionaire?
You know,
He's not wrong.
she one of them has done some real good.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping that I will have great news one way or another.
I hope so too, sweetie. I hope so too. And that spell for sure is gonna that's gonna have some impact. So now you numerologically are
Yeah.
in currently a 3 year,
Okay.
and didn't we decide that? And,
Yes.
and in a 3 year, it's all about manifestation, bringing things into the light that you planted during your 1 year, which for you would have been 2023. So planted seeds in 2023, nurtured them sometimes with a lot of trepidation and courage necessary in 2024. And then in 2025, the little shoots start coming up from the soil, allowing you to see, oh, this is the garden. This is what I planted.
That tracks.
2026, you're gonna roll up them sleeves. I mean, a 4 year, get to work. You're gonna work in that garden. It's gonna,
No problem. I love that.
yeah. You literally have sleeves you can roll up. That's
I
amazing.
do.
You're ready. Yeah. It can be a year of hard work, but it's also, a 4 year is a year of I'm gonna put in the effort necessary to earth sign this shit out. Like it's to
Right.
make real the thing that you saw the spark of in 2023 and believed in 2024 and 2023.
I'm hoping that what will happen is all of this work that I've done this year, so much behind the scenes. And yes, very much like people showing up, like you. Hey, do you want to dot dot dot? And the seeds were planted in 23. 20, I mean before that, but I think even more so. like in 23. And here we are. And I've been like, I don't understand why these things aren't like taking root. What's going on? It's like when I planted the dahlias this year. And I was like, oh, these are going to be amazing. And for however long, I did all of the things, I got it ready, planted them, and I would just go out and look. Like, and then I would just go look, and I'm
You're
like,
like poking, going, "Are you in there?
come on, knock, knock.
Show up!"
And then they started coming up. And I feel like that was some of the three. Like I
Hmm.
was tending to some of that. They miraculously came up. I'm like, oh my gosh, look. And then after that, I had to do some weeding and tending too.
You bet.
And oh my gosh. And then it just kind of got easy.
I love hearing that. I love hearing that. That's such a good representation of the energy too. And so for people wondering how do I get to my personal year, you take the month you were born, the day you were born, and the current year. And that is your personal number numerologically for the year.
And that starts over January
It
1st.
does.
Okay.
It does. You will leave your 3 year and move into your 4 year on January 1st.
So are any of the years the numbers associated with elements or with
Yeah.
planets? Or let's talk, I'm interested to know. I don't know this either.
Girl, yeah. You know. You
Maybe
know.
I know. Maybe I know.
Well, I'm gonna show you a thing and then you're gonna tell me if you know.
Hmm.
No, I don't need to go there. This is where I gotta look stuff up. I gotta find it. I gotta find stuff. Okay, hang on. And this is gonna be code. Okay, let's see. That is kind of what I mean. Let me see if I can find. No, we'll use this one. We'll use this one. Share my screen, please. All right, can you see that?
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, I know. I do know that. Durr.
so the
I'm like, I don't
question.
know what the numbers are, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
So these numbers down
Oh
at the
my
bottom.
God.
These numbers down here, hun.
Yes, I see that 100%. I've seen that thing a million times. I've seen that thing every time we do something. I've got it. I do. I have it memorized. And I'm like, so are the numbers like connected to?
So you're currently in a 3 year, which is orange and pink.
I
Orange
mean,
like
all of
all the
that.
fire and pink like all the air.
And the purple.
And a little bit of magic because Jupiter. Thank you. Missed that. And then the 4 year is black and green. Green because it's got that Taurus, make it real, manifested energy. And four because all of the seriousness of roll up the sleeves, put in the work, Daddy Saturn. Mm-hmm. And a collective one is this pink and orange without the purple.
Okay, well, that makes total sense because yes. So, as you know, I've been spending a lot of time in the pink
Yes,
this
very,
this
very
year
much. Very much.
with some definite woo-woo and expansiveness in the purple, and then putting myself out there, starting some new things
That's the
and
orange. Yep.
working on the visibility, spending some time really with all of that.
I agree. Yes,
Hmm.
you've been doing Mars, Sun, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Mercury, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Jupiter, Sagittarius, Pisces shit. For real,
Well,
for real.
sure.
For real. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And if everybody's like, that's half the zodiac. Yeah. That's why we have the option of looking at this numerologically, planetarily, zodiacally. We could also look at it by moon phase. Lots of, yeah.
Well, now three takes up a lot of space there. And
Three does.
it's interesting because if it's more like the manifesting, that's it is like the sprinkle of purple
It is.
on these other places.
That's right.
Also interesting that I am in an eighth house perfection year,
which
and
is,
that's Aquarius for
I
me.
was going to say, which is where we get some of that. So you're going to spend half of your eighth house perfection year, because that runs birthday to birthday. You're going to spend
Yeah.
half of it in a 3 year and half of it in a 4 year. And even though the four doesn't represent Aquarius, we know Daddy Saturn is the ruler of Aquarius
Yeah.
traditionally. So there is still
Hmm.
that tint to it. And it's the second of your back to back Saturn ruled years.
That's right. That's right. And hopefully a more mature time in Virgo.
Yeah,
Because that's where my South Node is.
right.
And if I could put some boundaries, healthy boundaries around where I am drained in my perfectionist, have to do the things the right way, exhaustively, then I wonder if that might be beneficial.
Have you found that just being more aware of your Pisces North Node, you've been able to corral some of that Virgo perfectionist energy and go, you don't actually serve me, South Node Virgo?
Mhm. Yes. And also the force is strong with this one. I mean,
Well, yeah.
really and truly, like, oh my God, I got some power in my Virgo South Node area. And it's like on top of some different things, and it's just the same sign as some other stuff, although it's far away. But yes, what I've really I think I'm already working on some of the boundaries because that I've spent a lot of time in the writing
Mhm.
and what the which all of that is like where my South Node is. But I think what I'm doing and what's going to look different this next year is I'm going to have to work hard, but I'm going to have to let go of some of that perfection. Like I've already done so much of like I've used the strength, my right hand to like prepare, but I don't think that that's exactly what the next step looks like. I think that's more handing over to some Pisces energy.
I would agree. You and I share that Pisces North Node, and we're getting our nodal return in 2026. And there's something about that Pisces North Node that is so freaking magical and fate filled because Jupiter ruled, but it also just requires that. It's almost like when we're putting on a live show, if we are not shooting a movie but putting on a live stage show, you get everything as ready as it can possibly get,
Hmm.
and then eventually you're on, and
Right.
you got to let everything else go, because if it's not there, it's not going to be there, and you can't fix it in post because it's live. And anybody who's running around trying to Virgo it all up while it's live is just having a really shitty time and not enjoying the celebration of getting this thing put on.
That makes sense. That speaks to me.
Yeah.
It's, doing the hard work and knowing a lot, like,
Mhm.
because then people trust you if you can show up with information,
Of
but
course.
also not having to know it all.
Well, so this also gets into the thing I was saying at the end of the live stream, which is, we live in a world that really values our overeducated brains. And the more overeducated we are, especially as female identifying folks, the more respect we have and the more ability we get to share our opinions authoritatively. And what happens when we go, yeah, I don't care. I don't care if I studied all the things, if I got all the details, if I have all the receipts. What if I just go, this is how I'm feeling? And can we just trust that this is worth saying? And when we allow people to receive what we're putting out there, and they're not coming because we got all the things organized, they're not coming because the slide deck is perfect, they're not coming because we got all the degrees, they're coming because it resonates with them.
Right.
That's us doing more Pisces North Node float time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's the intuitive.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like you back it up with as much as you can that offers some structure.
Sure.
Because part of that is taking care of me too.
Sure.
If I lean too much into that, I don't even know that it's leaning into Pisces. It's probably just my Sagittarius in my sixth house. Like, oh, it's boring. I don't want to sit down and do the things it's going to take to get me to the things. But, because then I wind up feeling really ill prepared. But if I can prepare some and have some foundation and even do some rehearsal, then I get to show up and go, okay, now I have the structure to really be free.
And that to me is what Saturn in Pisces has really helped us with
Yes.
since 2023 when he got there.
Yep.
He came in and said, okay, there's no structure here. Let me try and create some. Let me introduce some. And now I got the sun chasing me again. You'd think I would learn that this is
But
what.
it's so pretty
Well,
on
yay.
your face.
Yay. I'm gonna change it again because last time I learned there's no amount of running from it that I can do
Nope.
that is going to actually work.
That's why vampires have such a tough time.
We do. I mean, they do. Okay, seriously, come on now. Come on, blinds.
You know what I was just thinking about? How lucky are we, that Saturn has spent time in a place that probably really needed a little bit of structure?
Yeah.
Like for us to be able to move into our nodal return and not feel like we're just really in a free fall.
Yes. Agree. Okay. Oh, ha! Oh my God. I seriously am going to break my monitor.
Sounds like you have an old-timey phone in there.
It's my mom's wind chimes.
Oh my gosh. It seriously sounded like an old-timey phone ringing.
My mom's wind chimes. When we were setting up this space for it to be like my healing den in 2018, one of the things that I came across was this packed up in a box set of wind chimes that I'm like, I don't know that I've ever seen this. And then I'm like, oh my God, this was in my mom's office.
Oh
And
my.
I'm just like, so when I went home after she had passed and we were closing all the things up and dealing with the things, at some point, this had been put aside for me, probably by my stepdad, my Papa Bear. And so I was like, Keith, we have to put it up. And I was like, we have to put it up right where the window on the front on the beach side opens so that when we have it open, they can go bing, 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 bing. So.
Oh, it's almost like she was saying, hey, like right then, ding,
Mm-hmm.
ding, ding.
And I had to like do all that to get the thing because I was like, what's up with this thing? And it's like, I just, anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Mom.
Talking about our nodal returns.
That's right. Which was also hers because I was born on her nodal return when she was 37. Because we do have a nodal return at like 18 and a half and then 37 and then 50, 55.
Wow. You know what? Think about this. So your mom's nodal return, your nodal return, my nodal return, my son's nodal return.
Yeah.
Whoa, there's a lot of that going on.
I love it when families do that and when people gravitate toward one another and you could see like where astrologically are we syncing up and yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Huh.
Yeah. Um so I know one of the things that we talked about on the texting between my live stream and now was picking good astrology for things to happen.
That would be lovely. I was like,
Yeah.
selfishly speaking.
Yeah. Look, I don't really do electional astrology, but I do know enough about woo weather to say, I think maybe not this combination of things and maybe this combination of things.
Well, I know you look at moons, phases,
I look at moon.
and otherwise,
I,
planets, all of that.
I look at when is stuff out of bounds, when is stuff retrograde, when is stuff in a harsh aspect to something in your natal chart. Like if you are having to do a thing and you're trying to pick a good date for it, I'm going to not have Mars on your moon. No,
Yeah.
because nobody wants that.
No, especially not me.
Yeah, it's painful. It's painful. And somebody here is watching going, I have Mars conjunct moon natally. I'm like, well, then you're used to it. You spend your
That's
whole life
right.
with it. And the stuff that we're born with, we get our whole lives to live out. It's different than transit astrology,
Right.
which
Right,
is
right.
called mundane astrology, but that's a word that gets confused. So I just say transit astrology. But mundane astrology, the woo weather, is something that is much more about the activation of things in your natal chart rather than a thing. Because it's over quickly. Like even with the
Right.
outers, they're not exactly on top of something in your chart forever, even though it may feel like it. Pluto transits. Anyway, so
No.
what are we trying to schedule, and what do you want it to feel like?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is with some of this activism stuff.
Yes,
I mean, we're doing it, and then also in my other life, I'm doing some things with
remind
activism.
me to tell you that Jackie came up with what the next two things are going to be, and they're brilliant. And I want to tell you,
Okay.
I don't want to forget. Okay.
Okay. And I have more structure, I think,
Yeah.
around my stuff too,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
because of all this work I'm doing
In
outside
your
of what we're
local,
doing. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So astrology of activism, definitely continuing to go. Definitely the replay of the event that we did in October is coming soon as I continue to get
Mm.
things over at the new website. Bah, 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 bah.
Mhm.
Yes, continue.
All right. So I'm going to do something in a group format, like live person group format. I would like to do it in January.
Okay.
I know that there's some eclipses and things like that in February. I know there's a full moon in,
Days of the week that we're looking at.
I mean, it would be better if it was a weekend, but
Okay.
I don't, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but
And time
you
of
know,
day.
it would probably be like a 3 hour block of time, either like a 10 to 1 or maybe a 12 to 3. I don't really don't know.
Okay. So early in the day.
Yeah, it won't be a nighttime.
Right. And you are 2 hours ahead of me. So if it
Correct.
started at 10, that would be like 7 a.m. here, right? 7, 8, 9. No, Bonnie, it would be 8. Yeah, 8. That's what I got. Okay. So let me there.
It's not going to be astrologically informed.
Mhm.
I mean, the people are going to be a little woo, but it's not going to be like we're not going to talk astrology explicitly.
Right. Okay, cool. So I just picked Saturday, January 17th because of just looking at the calendar in general and going probably not the first weekend of the year because people are still doing whatever. And then so I just jumped to the 17th, but it doesn't have to be the 17th because this is a
Mhm.
balsamic moon. So my concern here would be on the 17th, moon's not happy because moon doesn't like being in Capricorn all that much. And it's balsamic moon, which means we need to be doing inner stuff. Now,
Mhm.
that can be great if you need people to be very reflective and quiet and little about the things that are going on. But if you're expecting it to be more of a let's fire people up and get people motivated to take action, this is not the moon to do it in.
Okay.
But if you did it the week before, which is the 10th, that gets us moon in Libra and it's squaring the moon. So this is the last quarter moon because it's squaring the sun in Capricorn. And I like that a lot because the last quarter moon is that last bit, first quarter moon. Wait, last quarter moon. Yes, last quarter moon moving toward balsamic. The last quarter moon is that square that makes it more energized than
Hmm.
anything else in the disseminating phases. And so while we have the moon losing light, the waning phases, which happens from full moon to new moon, which is where we are at this point in January. That last quarter moon is actually really nice. We've got an
Well,
exalted,
moon in Libra too.
right, moon in Libra.
Libra
People are
about
going to be charming. People are going to be easy to get along with. People are going to be a little bit people please, but
justice.
yeah, justice, fairness, balanced. The people
Mhm.
pleasy part is you're going to have people agreeing to get along, and like if we
Yeah.
even if we think differently, we're going to be like it's fine because we're going to stay in a pleasant space as far as moon is concerned. This is also, by the way, exalted
Yeah.
Mars on the sun. Like, so this is the sun is conjunct Mars, which means showing up and doing the work and being out and active and in a Beyonce placement, because that exalted Mars in Capricorn says, I'm here to fight. And Capricorn equips me with all the tools I need to be able to fight.
And
Um,
Venus too, right?
so Venus in
Venus.
Capricorn, less amazing, but
Mhm.
I do like Venus on the sun because then that's
Mhm.
especially with Venus being the ruler of this moon up here in Libra and in a square there, that reception is really nice. And by the way, Jupiter at 20 degrees. Goodness, this is a
Oh my
pretty
God, that's about right on my ascendant too.
well, then that we didn't even have to look any farther.
And this is
So
Saturday.
you're going to
Okay.
have Jupiter on your ascendant about, and this even though it's Jupiter retrograde just says turn that energy inward,
Well,
grow.
it could be moving back toward my ascendant.
That's right. That's right. So Jupiter exalted,
Uh-huh.
Mars exalted, opposing one another. I like that a lot because they're both in really good condition. And then we look at that with that moon in, yeah, that's just pretty.
Okay.
That's really pretty.
Oh, wow.
You'll bring a little Chiron to it, but that's going to happen no matter what we're doing because Chiron's in Aries forever. So like
Hmm.
that healer and wounded healer energy is going to be a part of the conversation for sure. Oh,
And it's on
I'm
a
into this.
Saturday, which gives some structure.
Correct, because Saturn's day, and then it also it gets our we've got both Saturn and Neptune direct. Uranus
Mm,
is still retrograde and moving back toward Algol, but that's going to be the case for a while. So we don't need to try and avoid that.
right.
I am paying attention to the fact, though, that Lilith and Uranus are in an opposition.
Lilith is squaring my sun there.
Yepers. Yeah,
Oh, and as is Uranus. Huh.
let's look at this on your chart, actually. So let's go to Melissa and flip it. Okay. So I now put Melissa's chart in the middle. This is Melissa's chart, and this is the chart of the timing for that using early in the day on Saturday, the 10th of January. Yeah, we got a lot in your seventh house of partnership, which you said this is going to be a thing you do with other instructors, right? Not just you.
I don't know for sure, but maybe I could.
If you bring in somebody to do guest speaking, or if somebody in the group is someone who steps up and takes a leadership role, like you definitely have a lot of energy in your seventh house. So that could be their faux show. Got that structure and mysticism in your ninth house, which has been there for a minute.
Yeah.
Love it. Yes, yes. Uranus is applying to your Saturn, but has been for a while. So that's no big
Mhm.
shakeup for you. The moon on your Venus, which is the ruler of that moon. I mean, it's that's a wide orb, but it's
Mhm.
there. Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you're making your sun is making that T square between Lilith and Uranus.
So here's a question.
I like it.
I have two different options. There's more of like a small kind of a community group, but I've been asked by a few different people to like get out in front of maybe a little bit larger, not large, but maybe a little less personal, a little more informative. And that really would be more of a partnering thing. Does either one of those like speak to, I'm looking at like 11th house stuff for me.
Um,
Mhm. Or does that even really matter?
so here's kind of my take on it is like I go for general rules of when I want to be out in the world first,
Mm-hmm.
because whatever the woo weather is, I know I do best when the moon is not balsamic and
Mm-hmm.
when the moon is in an air sign, because I have an air sign moon, so it gives me a trine, or it gets me talking and being on. And especially since I've been sober 3,333 days as of yesterday.
Oh my God, that's a wow.
You know what I love about that?
Huh.
3333. So those, like, numerologically add down to a three. So I'm like, that's magic. I love that. Um,
Huh.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because you're like three,
Mhm.
4 threes make 12, and then 1 + 2, 3. So,
Mhm.
so anyway, as a sober woman for 9+ years now, crazy. I know I need air sign moons to help me be on,
Mhm.
because I don't have vodka anymore.
Right,
And I thought I was an extrovert, and what I actually was someone who turned on when she turned up
right,
and buffered all the energy she didn't want through
right.
alcohol. Like, so alcohol was my daddy Saturn. And now I live in a space of, if the moon is too receptive, I don't want to people, like, at
Mhm.
all. And so I take a look at things that I know are going to help me feel better out in the world, and then target the woo weather from there. But as long as I know the moon is going to be supporting me, it's kind of like everything else I can figure out how to deal with. If Mercury's still retrograde, not a problem. I know that just means check all the details more, make sure that things like registration glitches and location and parking and stuff that can go wrong gets way worked out.
Mhm.
Have someone who's actually in charge of all that stuff, so that there is not just my set of eyes on things,
Right.
you know. And if something were like, if Mars were on top of my moon at that time, I'm like, well, Mars is going to be on top of my moon for a few weeks,
Right.
so, or at least a week orb. So do I want to, like, not do anything at all at that time? No, I can deal with it. It just means do more Mars shit to make sure that my moon doesn't feel attacked, make sure I
Mhm.
don't feel accident prone, so it's like I feel like I can deal with anything as long as I've got the moon in good shape.
Okay. Okay.
So the difference for me would be, if I'm going to go do a group thing and I want the bigger group to be energized, I'm going to want something in my ninth house to help me step on a stage. Like, the ninth house is TED Talk place. That's like where I go to be an expert. 11th house is more get the group involved,
Okay. Yep.
and they support each other, because they're in friendly angle to one another. And so we can get the energy there no matter what. But also, just getting the moon in the sign of one of those is going to help bring energy, especially because the moon is your chart ruler.
I need to look at where it was. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
let's
it's
let's
in.
come back. Let's come back to
We
the
don't do all that. And which phase is it in? Remind me, not balsamic, but
the one that we're talking about on January
the
10th,
10th.
last quarter,
Okay.
last quarter. And the last quarter phase is like, we've done the big show, which is the full moon, and now we are going through producer notes. And so it's a good time to put eyes on things. If you're going to have to do something public during a waning moon, you want
Okay.
to do it during last quarter, because there's that square to give that energy.
But that's not disseminating. That's after disseminating.
It's
Is that
after
right?
disseminating. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. The order is, so we go new moon, crescent moon, first quarter, gibbous, full moon, disseminating, last quarter, balsamic, back to new moon.
Okay. Mine's disseminating, like in my,
Your natal?
I was born with that. It's a big
Yeah.
freaking surprise.
Yeah. 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 You're not far from a last quarter moon.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
later that same day that you
Ooh,
were born was the last
okay.
quarter. Yep. Yepers. So if we wanted to look at, well, when would be a really good group energy kind of thing? Like, do we, the moon is down here in Libra during this thing on the 10th. Do we want to wait until the moon is back up in Pisces? That's a good moon. We do like getting moon. Where are you at? Moon in Pisces, January 20th. That's a Tuesday. So you would have to do something in the middle of the week to get that. But if we want to take it to your 11th house, get the moon in Taurus,
Hmm.
there's our weekend. So
And that,
that's on Saturday and Sunday, 24th and 25th.
mm, I'm taking screenshots.
Yeah, like we could do it. Your lunar return is going to be
Mm.
too late in the day. But if we wanted to, do something, going back in time, back in time, back in time, back in time. Don't you feel like we're going back in time? This is like watching what's it called?
Uh,
Back to the Future.
you beat me to
I
it.
did. I beat you to it. I beat you to
I'm
it.
gonna sing Huey Lewis.
Back in time. Now, one of the things that happens by this point in January is we lose exalted Mars. Mars has now moved over to Aquarius, which is less yummy than when exalted in Capricorn. But you're in an eighth house perfection year. Having
Mm.
Mars in your eighth house during an eighth house perfection year, not bad.
And the sun's already moved over, right? Wait,
Yep.
I need new contacts.
Yeah, it's Aquarius season by 5 days because
Oh,
the
okay.
because the sun's at five
Oh,
degrees
it's the
Aquarius.
25th. I
Yeah,
was thinking 20th.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This well because the 20th was the Pisces moon, and then
Yeah.
the 25th is the Taurus moon. And so either way, we're getting the moon to your ninth or 11th houses, and those are both signs the moon does well in. So,
Damn, that's a lot going on in Aquarius.
yep. Oh, it always
Well,
gets bonkers when stuff gets in Aquarius and Pisces, like things get so crowded.
that's a
Yeah.
zippy zappy little clown car.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Indeed. Yeah.
Well, maybe what I'll do is something on the 10th
Yep.
and on the 25th.
Yep. That gives you a Saturday and a Sunday also. So just planetary day of the week, the thing that's got more structure is your Saturday the 10th. And then the thing that's got more I'm being seen, I'm on stage is the thing that's happening on the 25th, Sun's Day.
Okay.
You can pick the planetary hour it starts as well if you want to
Yeah.
really
Get
manipulate.
granular.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Now, and I didn't go through and go, oh, but hang on now, Jupiter's ascendant, blah, blah, blah. I mean, because you can be never done trying to mess with all the configurations, which is why I have to just decide on what is the baseline thing that's going to help me. And what
Mhm.
also helps is these moons are
Mhm.
in waxing phases once we get to the 25th
Okay.
and even the 20th, because that new moon that happens earlier in
Mhm.
in late Capricorn has happened, and now everything after that, the moon is growing in light, and that growing, when we get to moon in Taurus, we're actually looking at a first quarter moon, and that's a nice big bright spot.
Mhm.
Exalted moon, sun in Aquarius, which sun in Aquarius not its favorite place to be.
Right, right.
But in your eighth house during an eighth house perfection year, we already know the sun is a dark player, as
Mhm.
your son's ruler is the sun. So that's
Yeah.
always a good thing.
So they won't be, I mean, not even close, but they'll be in opposite signs.
That's right.
And the moon will be in my moon's
11th
house
11th house. Your
and sign.
lunar return will be on its way. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. I love all of that. Like, so to me, that simplifies what can be an incredibly complicated thing. You know, the astrology podcast, they have a Patreon level that is for electional astrology. And they have like a podcast that is called Auspicious Elections. And they go deep, 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 deep on every possible electional brilliance each month and come up with multiple charts that are going to be great for this kind of activity and that kind of activity. And I'm just like, I get it. There's a lot to it. And I'm so glad to know somebody else does that really well. Cause I'm like, I just know get the moon in good shape for what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And since you mentioned being out in front of a group, you're motivating a bunch of people, like there are certain things that we want to look for.
Okay. That's really cool.
And we can mitigate anything that is not great by going, okay, I'll just do a little chart harmony for it. Mm-hmm. You know, that sun feels a little unseen in Aquarius and in the eighth house. And you go, yeah, but an unseen sun is not a problem because we're taking the focus off me, which is the sun's job, and putting it on the collective, which is Aquarius's jam.
Mm-hmm. And it's not too close to the eclipse.
No. The eclipses are.
That's in February, right?
February 17th and March 3rd.
Yay.
Yeah, let me see. Do they count like when there's, hang on, I just want to let me look. When there is eclipse time, do we do like, there's not like shadow, like retrograde shadow, but there is like, this is from the astrology podcast folks, that you consider eclipse season begins in February. Like for that February 17th eclipse in Aquarius, they're saying February 9th is when eclipse season technically starts. And so just keep in mind, because you can't not do things during eclipse season because it's like a whole freaking month of eclipse season. And the issue would be, we want to get past the lunation that happens before and after the eclipses to be done with that. And so by lunation, I mean new moon or full moon, although technically that's not what the word means, but that's what astrologically it means.
Eclipses are fascinating.
Yeah. And you just know that if you do something during eclipse season, you have baked the eclipse energy into the birth chart of whatever that thing is. And relationships, new jobs, new homes, whatever, that eclipse energy being baked into the birth chart of that thing or that relationship or that person, that collaboration, creates unexpected experiences, because eclipses cause things to behave not the way we expect them to behave. And so sometimes that's great. Sometimes we want that. I know.
So I was baked into the middle of eclipse season.
Yeah.
I was literally baked into like between in this exact eclipse, because I think that this one is in Aquarius, because it's kind of, I don't even know, and one is in Virgo.
Yeah.
So I was born right. Yes.
Because we're doing the relay. We're doing the relay of the axes. Yes.
Yeah.
So would you say that as an eclipse baby, you defy expectations?
A little bit. Hey, I grew up Southern Baptist. How about this?
That's my favorite Southern Baptist headgear I've ever seen.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We're good.
Good to go.
Good to go.
Go Afton. Go Afton.
Go Afton. Go Blue. And anybody watching, please comment, ask questions, connect with us. So we're just hanging out.
Maybe the hat will get us some attention. This hat's going to get us some attention.
That's right. Do it. Awesome.
All right.
Bye, y'all. Love you.